What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the Other Side of the Firewall podcast, where we talk about the latest and greatest of cybersecurity news, as well as we highlight those movers and shakers and glass ceiling breakers, those people of color who've made it to the other side of the proverbial firewall. My name is Ryan Williams, and as always, I'm joined by Shannon Tynes.
What's up? What's up?
And LeVon Maynard.
Welcome to the show.
What is going on? So if you're tuned in, this should be Wednesday's episode. This is our discussion. So Monday, we discussed crypto.com and some issues they're having with two-factor authentication. Then on Tuesday, we talked about Merck and how they finally received almost $2 billion in cyber security policy from a 2017 attack that they suffered. Today, we will discuss, I was kind of iffy on the title. I'm still working it out, but is there ever a time to negotiate with terrorists, right? So we always talk about hey, don't pay the ransom, definitely disclose, mitigate, and what have you. In this case, it comes from the Red Cross, right? So this is an article entitled, Red Cross Begs Attackers Not to Leak Stolen Data for 515,000 People. So this one is written by Lisa Voss on the threat post. The notes and trend, like last week was all one writer. This week it seems to be the other writer. But in this article, they state a cyber attack forced the Red Cross to shut down IT systems running the Restoring Family Link system, which reunites families fractured by war, disaster, or migration. So it's basically a database that has the names of people who are victims of these disasters, and it tries to relink them with their family members. So it was discovered that over 515,000, more than 515,000 highly vulnerable people's data had been leaked. And the International Committee for the Red Cross, or ICRC, said on Wednesday, your actions could potentially cause yet more harm and pain to those who have already endured untold suffering. The real people, the families behind the information you now have are among the world's least powerful. Please do the right thing. Do not share, sell, leak, or otherwise use this data. So they're unsure of who actually stole the data, or and I think they have a time frame for when it was collected. So they don't actually say what the vulnerability was, but it seems to be perhaps some kind of elevation in permissions or what have you, or some kind of social networking where they gathered credentials in order to get this stuff. Again, speculating, but based upon the loose verbiage of the article, is kind of what it leads me to. And in this case, all these people's data is out there for the highest bidder. So what they're asking for is let's open up the lines of communication. Let's talk about this and come to some kind of terms of agreement. So I have my opinions on it, but I put out to you guys and you can stray away from the question because it is kind of black or white. But is it okay to ever negotiate with terrorists?
It's good. It's a good question, especially in this situation where it's affecting some highly vulnerable people. I think I was thinking about it as I read the article earlier. I think maybe it's situational, and I think maybe it's more so. I think it's good to negotiate if you can use that negotiation to potentially capture these people or capture other people like them. Use it as some sort of ploy to get additional details about them and to find out more information that you can use to okay, tell me where you at right now. Let me what's your bank account number and all this kind of stuff. Give me your phone number.
Social engineer there.
I got your money. I'm gonna drop it off.
Money. Yeah, here's a little bit of money for you. I give you $5 if you give me your phone number right now. No. But yeah, if you can, use it towards for something that can actually be used to you apprehend them, or maybe people that are associated with them. I think generally speaking, I definitely shy away from that as far as giving people motivation to use these attacks to try to get money out of people. But at the same time, it's kind of it's kind of gazing through the article. I didn't really notice if they mentioned the data has been stolen, but I guess they haven't really mentioned if it's they haven't asked for any money or anything of that nature. I don't think I've noticed that listed in the article.
No, not in this article.
Yeah. So maybe it's just somebody some cyber I don't know, cyber bandit that's looking for a good time. See, like, oh, let me see if I get some data out of here, and they're probably going to use it potentially to like, I don't know, try to access like credit cards or like use information to like, you know, use it for other purposes that like maybe, you know, maybe like if they have like social security numbers or something like that, they can use them to try to like do some false identification or like make you know, identity, steal somebody's identity or something like that. But it's kind of sad thing. I mean, it seems like there's no level too low for some of these cyber criminals. I mean, they go after the Red Cross is, you know, known for just trying to help people, especially in this situation. It's just, you know, people that were trying to re-engage with people that they've lost and reunite with family members. So it's like, it's really kind of sad that this kind of thing would happen in the first place. But nonetheless, you know, I really hope that, you know, to identify what happened here, potentially, I don't know, I don't know if they can, like, at this point, it's kind of like a lost cause. I mean, I'm not sure if they can, even if they get the information back or if they find out that, hey, we're going to delete the information, you know, promise we're not going to use anything, do anything with it. At this point, it's kind of like, I think maybe too late. Once the data is gone, then it's kind of like they can make multiple copies of it and put it wherever they want. But hopefully this kind of like helps them to maybe, the Red Cross, maybe to take a look at their cyber infrastructure, and maybe they can tune it up a little bit to kind of prevent this from happening in the future. But I guess with that, what do you think about this one, Shannon?
So here's the thing. I'll answer the question real quick, right? So
Yeah.
no, it's not okay to negotiate with terrorists, right? It's not. It's like if my youngest daughter, if she keeps hitting me and I reward her with candy, she's gonna keep hitting me, right? That's the learned behavior she gets from that. So don't negotiate with them. But here's my thinking on this. So this was kind of interesting to me because I don't know whoever did this. I don't know if they knew what they were going after, right? Because think about this, right? So this is a database for the Red Cross. So anybody who's using the services of the Red Cross is not in a position to give you any money, right? They're not in a position, you are not going to be able to get anything from them because they are going through some type of possible natural disaster or war or displacement, refugees, something along those lines, right? To where it's somebody that needs their help. And the Red Cross is not a for-profit organization, right? So it's not like they're answering to stockholders or anything like that and giving out dividends at the end of the year for the Red Cross. They're taking donations all the time, right? Taking whatever they can to help all these people. So I'm kind of curious if this could be somebody that's like a new hacker, maybe just trying to prove themselves or something. It was like, hey,
Yeah.
I went and got something, but it's like it's one of those things where they bring it back to the compound, like, hey, look at what I did. You know what I mean? I'm like, what are you doing? Like, we can't do anything.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, and I don't want to laugh at that. I don't want to laugh at that.
Right. No.
Red Cross, like, this one of those things where I will donate when I see Red Cross and when I see St. Jude. Like, Shannon loved the kids. You know what I mean? So
that's right.
Like, it's one of those things where you are not going to profit from this, right? Like, even if you come to them and say, okay, we won't do it for this amount of money, the Red Cross probably doesn't have it. You know what I'm saying? So it just led me to believe that somebody was just trying to prove they could do something, and that's probably why they haven't heard from them either, right? It was one of those things like it could have been getting jumped into the gang. This is what they did, right? Like, hey, I did it. You know what I mean? But yeah, but don't negotiate with terrorists. To answer your question, Ryan, you do not negotiate with terrorists, right? You seek them out and you destroy them.
So I agree with both of you. So we don't pre-coordinate the discussions. I like to just drop an article and then I will make up a question. And I don't let anybody know. So I can see where we're at. But no, I agree with both of you. Like, I think you have to open up the lines of communication because you don't know who the thief is, right? So you're trying to catch who they are, at least so some other service can help you, whether it be the federal government or some kind of international service or someone to get this data back or to at least stop it from ever happening again. So I do agree with that. But yeah, you're not negotiating with them to give them anything because that is a reward. So I think they've started the process appropriately. I'm sure the rest of the world is coming to their aid as well. Because who messes with the Red Cross? It's like you said, you don't mess with St. Jude, you don't mess with the Red Cross, you'll mess with what's the really sad commercials with the dogs and cats?
I forgot about those. I can't
remember. Humane Society, right?
Yeah, you don't mess with these organizations because like people really love them and want to donate and to help people out. So this was a mistake. And like you said, like Shannon said, he or she probably brought it back. They're like, yo, like we don't do that. Like there's certain, like I like to say that they have certain codes. Like when they mess with the Colonial Pipeline, they kind of pulled back, like, oh, we ain't mean to go that far. Like people got gas and trash bags now, and you know what I mean. Like that's not what we're going for. So hopefully they do destroy the data and they don't use it for mischievous reasons. I would say that obviously it's a problem that they were breached, however, whatever means they were breached at. But the only thing they did mention in here is that they were unable to pivot from said database or system into any others. So they didn't get to the donation portal. They didn't get to work credentials or employee PII because they're properly segregated. So that's a good thing. So they did lose one system. Obviously of very, again, unfortunate, unempowered people, but they weren't able to use it as a pivot point to get into other systems. So that's a good thing. They did have some good segregation and what have you. And I'm sure they also have good backups for them to actually know, hey, we lost this much data. So it's not the worst of stories, but it could be if this person is nefarious and decides to use it for the wrong reason. So more to come, right? We'll keep track of the story and we'll talk about it as it progresses. Hopefully it doesn't though. Hopefully this person is just like, whoops, it hits delete and then never talks about it again. So we will see. But definitely a great conversation. I appreciate you for always being on the show. Again, I apologize to listeners. Hear my voice has gotten better. So hopefully, as you've listened throughout the week, you've noticed the difference. Definitely to hit us up on Mondays and Tuesdays for our topics, Wednesdays for our discussions. Thursdays typically Ask Us SP, but not this week. And then Friday we talk about everything else. So stay tuned for that one as well. We'll probably talk about some Peacemaker and some other media that we have partaken in this week. So hit up the website, www.theothersideofthefirewall.com, to get to our social medias. Hit me up personally. I am at RyRy Security Guy. That's RYRY Security Guy. I'm on LinkedIn, Twitter, TikTok, and Clubhouse. And you, LeVon?
Yes, sir. You can hit me up on the Twitter at LeVon Maynard.
There it is. Stay safe. Stay secure.
Take care.